what I'm calling this area here. This table here has been my workstation, my workbench for the last several months, and it's been a mess, so I finally cleaned it off. I'm sure you've seen it in the background of some of my other videos, but this table is finally going to go out today, and we are going to finally take care of this area here, which is going to be our little dining room area. We have a lot of plans around it, and I'm kind of excited to show them as we go here. So I'm going to start to do a little demo work, and then once I've got a tabula rasa, then we will kind of lay out my design. But this is the last thing that I really need to clear out before we can lay floors in this thing. Everything else is pretty much gone but this, so I've got to take this table out and repair the wall that I tore apart to fix a leak, which I'll link to. If you're in the same boat, you ever have a leak in your wall, this might help you fix it. But now that that's been taken care of, it's time to fix up this area once and for all. So the first part of this dining room renovation is fixing this wall and bringing it back to what it used to look like. I'm going to use some of this foam. At one of the big box stores you can buy this stuff, and you can buy it in small little spots, and basically you cut it to fit and slide it right back in there, and that'll give you the insulation that you need. And then we'll put a little piece of door skin or something over it, because that's really all that's in there. And if you look at that wall, it's just styrofoam, so those metal bars, not sure how good they'll protect you in case of a T-bone, but that's really all that's there. Tiny piece of wood, styrofoam, and another tiny piece of wood. So we'll go ahead and get this back in there, and then we can recreate once we've got our wall back together. So this is the space we're working with here. Not too big, but you can see the layout that I put in there. It's going to be an L-shaped, like a reverse upside down L. Enough room for all 5 kids to sit. There are some great videos online, or at least websites I've seen. I haven't seen any videos of people building these in their homes. But the problem is, this is not a stick and mortar home, and I need to reinforce it a little bit differently. There are issues, obviously, with seat belts that I'm going to have to put in. So it's going to be a little different than anything I've seen out there. So I'm going to try to do my best to document this and talk my way through it. And hopefully this will help you if you're ever doing the same thing. Because I know these standard, generic, out-of-the-box RV dinettes are usually pretty gross. And a lot of people want to get rid of them. At least we did. We couldn't live with the one that was in here because of the former owner, and it was pretty disgusting. So we're going to build this up. Put a little back on it, a little angle, move some electricity around, stain it nice, and make some cushions so we can sit on it, and put some seat belts in so that we can be safe while we're driving. So, I don't know, let's get right to it. Here we go. One of the things that I have to worry about is this bed. So, ideally, we're going to have the slide open like we do right now, so there's not going to be a problem at all. But I want to plan for the off chance that we have to pull over and boondock on the side of the road and want to pull the bed out without opening up the slide. So I've calculated it so it comes right to the literal edge. Like, I think it's 16.5 inches. So I'm going to make it 16 inches. And that should give us room, just in case of emergency, for this bed to come out. So that's going to be what we go for, 16 inches. So let me show you the plans. So I want to give credit where credit is due. We used a great website called makingmensanita.com for some of the inspiration behind this. I'll post a link to them below, or put the details below. But based on some of their mock-ups, or their plans, I made my own mock-ups. Ours is going to be different, but this is kind of what I'm looking at for the base. It's going to build like a rectangular square base at the bottom with some angles. Angles will give the most comfort, and that's kind of what we want. So let's go and see how it looks. All right, so here's the templates. And what I had to do was, these are going to be the base of the seat. And then the key is these little angled pieces here, which I cut at a 5-degree angle, just to make it so that when you're sitting there, your legs can kind of come back. It's just a little bit more comfortable. So you just have to basically just cut these pieces and rip them at an angle, 5-degree angle. They get pretty thin at the bottom. But as you can see on here, it just blends right into the bottom board also is cut at a 5-degree angle. So it goes right on up, and I'm gonna put a 2x4 on the end here that also has that 5-degree angle right there. And that's where the plywood will be screwed on. So these are the templates for the bottom. Almost done with these, and then we'll start on the back. So this is the back brace. Cut at a 5-degree angle. Left a 3/4 there so the plywood will be able to butt up against it, and then the 5-degree incline starts. But these will be the backs. And now I've got 8 more to cut like this, so let's get cutting. All right, so let's give a little progress update here. We've made the seat tops and put some invisible disappearing hinges underneath. Built the box underneath, so we've got some storage in there. Not trying to make it perfect, just want to get it done. We're going to stain this and seal it. Had to put a little bit of an edge on there so that it closed a little bit without rubbing up against it. I don't know if you can see it there. We just used a little router on it and cut this right at a 45-degree. And it looks pretty awesome. Pretty happy with it so far. I also ran electric. I used a junction box there and ran some electric underneath. So right here I have it there, coming out through this side and through the front of this little dude here. So this is where the feet will rest against. It's cut at a little bit of an angle so that it's a little bit more comfortable. Sorry for the filming there. Let me stand up, make it a little bit better. But working on the back today. Had to take a couple weeks off because of an elbow surgery that I had, elbow procedure. But I'm back and gonna finish this bad guy and then stain it up and then work on this table. So this blue stain from Minwax, it's what we use for our beds in our bedroom, and it's also what we're going to use for our dinette. We really fell in love with this dark blue cobalt color, and it really goes well with the rest of the RV. Mostly white, as you've seen with if you've seen any of our other videos. The walls are white. You know, we used our poor man shiplap and did a lot of white cabinets. So this blue really stands out and is a really nice touch with the dinette, or so we hope. So let's get to it. All right, so the bottom is in on the our little dinette section here. Getting ready to put this little guy here, but I just I add a little piece of wood on there just so I have something to nail this into, and I've run the electrical through there. I put this little junction box in the back, so I've got it running underneath, running all the way down over to this one as well, and I've got another outlet, double outlet, that'll go in there, because I'm guessing this will be a place where the kids are sitting and, you know, to do their schooling and charging up devices and all that good stuff. But gonna put these on, just gonna nail these in and put this thing together. So I was able to purchase these beautiful cobalt blue seat belts off of seatbeltsplus.com. I'll post a link below. But I'm putting these seat belts in here. As you can see, they match the blue perfectly. And I've cut some holes and bought some brackets as well to make that a little bit easier. But I'm going to bolt these things in with really thick lag bolts into the 2x4s that are in there, and possibly to the floor below to secure these seats as much as possible. But really happy with these blue seat belts. They come in several colors, and it was a really quick and easy process. I ordered them and they were at my house within 3 days, so check them out. That was definitely so far so good with them. Everything went great. So the seat belts are in. It looks good. I'm happy with it. I came in, I had the kids. I should have filmed that, but my kids have tested these and they fit just right. Put some electric in and testing that. It works well. So I'm continuing the borders of the dinette, and I've really found a cool piece of wood at Lowe's. It has that wormwood looking feel to it. So I'm really liking how I already did one side. I'll show you here in a minute. but it has a very cool look and I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to start cutting this long piece and start finishing up this dinette. Now what I'm doing now is just putting this little wood cladding over top of this, you know, the rough structure of this bench. So I've just got these wood pieces, so they kind of have this old look, like bugs have gotten to them, but I really like it. I'm going to seal them with some polyurethane just to, you know, keep it easier to clean and everything, and finish buttoning this up. I was able to use that wormwood looking stuff and put that piece together there and seal in the dinette. The only thing I would change if I could do it all over again is I probably would have extended this thing out like an extra inch or so and not made that show. I'm probably going to put another piece here and stain it blue to cover that up, but ideally I wish I would have extended that just a little bit, but honestly it's not worth the effort right now or the expense, so I'm going to go with what I've got. So this is the area that I'm going to be covering in today. I took a little safety light or whatever it was. I was able to pry the front off and paint this a new color, but I'm just going to go ahead and reuse it instead of buying new stuff. Try to reuse as much as I can, but I've already tested it and it works fine, so I'll put the wood on and then install that little piece there. But this will change by the end of the day. So I cut this first piece because the way this sits, I don't know if you can see there, it makes sense to click it up into here and let the seat actually rest in that little nook that's there. So I'm starting at the top and I'm working my way down. Made it a little bit easier that way when I did it on the other side. I've dry fitted some of the wood that I cut. I cut out a 2-inch hole here for the little light piece, and everything lines up just right. So let's tack this in with a couple nails and then we'll start on the top. And I discovered these at Home Depot the other day. They're super easy for connecting electrical, way better than wire nuts, at least in my opinion. But you basically just trim the wires down and you push them in. It's as simple as it sounds. Let me show you. So you just want to make sure your wire has a good straight end, and you insert it and you just push it on down. Sorry if this is out of focus, guys. You just push it right on in, and then you take the other wire, and again, sorry about the view here, but and then you just basically push it on in there. Push it in, and it's a little easier than a wire nut. And now we've got light. And there we go. We have a finished end cap on the dinette. So pretty happy with this. Love to see this little light here. That looks fantastic. I'm really happy with how that looks. So one last step, actually a couple little steps, nothing too big, but just a couple little steps here to finish her off. I gotta put a little cap on the top all the way down and around that edge there, and a little bit of decorative work down here, but otherwise almost done. This is the final dinette. As you can see, we've got the great beautiful blue cobalt stain on. We've got the electric all wired up and buttoned up. We've even got this awesome little light back on again. See if I can turn it on. There she goes. So that looks so nice. It's nice and sealed. I'm really, really happy with how this dinette has turned out. And we even have some storage in here also. Quite a bit of storage, actually, to hold some long things, to hold some pots and pans, whatever it might be. But I'm really happy with how this has turned out. It's nice and finished. It looks, I'm really happy with it. I'm not really a carpenter. I've never really done woodworking, so understandably, I'm kind of proud of it. The next step that I'm going to be undertaking is building the table for this dinette area. I've had to kind of do some custom measurements to make sure that it not only fits our table, but also allows us to open up what is going to be Amy and myself's bed. And I'm trying to plan for an emergency where if we pull over and the slide doesn't work for some reason, we can still sleep. So the table has to be removable, or it has to stay in place and we can sleep with our feet under it. Not really sure how that's going to go yet, but we've got plans, we're moving forward, and that's going to be probably the next video that we drop here. So we would love it if you would go through our videos, check them out. We've posted quite a bit of content on renovating our RV. As you can see from here, we've done a lot of work, and it did not used to look this nice. It was a mess. This was an ugly, ugly RV. It smelled like death, and we've been able to do a lot of work to this thing. We're really happy with our progress. So please go back and check out our old videos. We've got a ton of them, from redoing this kitchen here, to doing our floors, to the bedroom in the back, which was a big job all in itself. We've got videos on the exterior of the RV coming up, a whole lot of stuff. So go through our 10,000 Roads channel. We would love your support. Go through these videos, watch them. Please like them. Please subscribe to our channel. We would love for that to happen so that you can get updates whenever we put out new content. So, having said all of that, I'm gonna close this video now. Thanks for watching so far. I hope you liked it, and I hope you tune in again. So, thank you.